This is the Westerplatte. This is the place where on the 1st of September 1939 allegedly the first shots of World War II were fired when the cruiser Schleswig Holstein opened up on Polish positions here. Whether or not this was the point where the first shots were fired is now open to some dispute. There's a number of places where it could also have been, such as an airfield at Rumia north of Gdynia, and a bombing raid on Wieluń, which is in the direction of Łódź, and shots fired into Tczew, which is on the border between Poland and Germany to the over the river Vistula. Anyway, wherever the point, not really the point, we can't tell now. So from this point where I'm standing now, looking directly in front of me, there is a blue and white ship down there, which may or may not be visible, roughly level to where the thing that looks a bit like a lighthouse stands. And there stood the Schleswig Holstein, which opened up on Polish positions which were very close to it. Now this stretch of land was part of the Free City of Gdansk. Poland in 1921 found itself at war with the Soviet Union and wished to import arms from France. The dock workers in Gdansk, which was then German, they were Germans, even as late as 1939 only some 17% of the population of Gdansk was in fact Polish. By then it would have been almost entirely German, and they went on strike. They refused to handle goods, military shipments from Poland. Not much Poland could do about this, but the League of Nations said that this wasn't cricket and allowed Poland a stretch of land, this narrow stretch of land where I am standing now, was granted to Poland. So you could import from the Baltic, there's the sea in front of me, it could import military supplies which would be unloaded here and then carried into Poland via the Free City of Gdansk. And there's the unloading points in front of me now. The Free City of Gdansk was effectively theoretically independent, but with Polish rights over such things as Polish control the post office and other similar things, what little defence there was and all the rest of it. Now, as the Free Cities legislature was in the hands of the Nazi Party from 1934, who wanted a union with Nazi Germany. By the time Hitler had decided upon the attack on Poland, the original date was to be the 26th of August 1939. Part of the plans for this involved sending the cruiser, the Schleswig Holstein, here, which would open fire on the Polish positions. As more time was granted, the war was sort of postponed, largely because of British intransigence, and Britain wasn't going to let Germany have a walkover of it, and secondly, because the union, the alliance with the Soviet Union between Nazi Germany gave a certain cause to pause and to think about the next steps. When the alliance with the Soviet Union was absolutely clear and Poland was carved up between Molotov and Ribbentrop, Germany was intent on war. The ship found an excuse to stay here a bit longer, and so it remained moored down the river here. Now, on the night of the 31st of August to the 1st of September, people who were living in the houses, which are today with this yellow and white striped warehouse-like thing, and other facilities, were evacuated, and weapons were placed there. German soldiers stood at the border between the Free City and the this Westerplatte, the Free City having been now occupied. Furthermore, they'd also stopped additional supplies coming into the Westerplatte, which included things such as gas masks and anti-tank and anti-aircraft weapons from arriving here. On the 1st of September, the Schleswig Holstein opened fire. Polish positions here. But one thing, the Poles actually hung out here for 7 days. The Germans took quite heavy losses, despite having the power of the Schleswig Holstein, which is probably far too close to the Polish positions to be hugely successful. Machine gun fire coming from the other side of the river. Germans were being unable to break through. Poles hung out for 7 days. They took 14 dead. One person who was killed later by the Nazis because the radio operator who refused to give the Nazis details of the codes, they killed him. This place was occupied. In the winter of 1939-1940, it became part of a sub-camp from Stutthof concentration camp was opened here. At the end of the Second World War, in March 1945, Gdansk was taken by the Soviet army, and it returned to Poland. It returned to Poland the first time since 1772. Before then it had been sometimes Polish, sometimes German. This has become a monument to the war. There we see a slogan, Nigdy więcej wojny, that was put up by the socialist authorities, who obviously were the peace-loving citizens, the same people who obviously started wars throughout Africa and Asia, but as far as he was concerned, they wanted peace. And they also built this rather strange monument behind me, which shows a sword being put into the ground, and names of battles at which Poles took part. Also buried here are the people who took part in the battle, and the authorities 9 years ago, 1998, put up the names of all the defenders of the Westerplatte, more than 200 people, some of whom would appear to be still alive.